Ladies and gentlemen, people with jobs, people without jobs, middle class, upper class, high class, all that. We always talk about, of course, cats, snakes, chickens, ducks, elderly people, and twerkers. We present to you another edition of the Public Enemies Podcast. This is Behind Enemy Lines. Not only is it myself, not only is it this guy, Ben, but we got the judge, EJ Nduka, in the building. How are you doing, brother? How you feeling? What's going down?
I'm good, brother. Appreciate you having me. I'm blessed, alive, and breathing.
Yeah, man. I see right there on the shirt, man, the Grateful Department. You know?
Yeah.
Got to flip it. You know? I like it. I hope everything is well with you. I hope the new year has been fruitful, you know, and all of that good stuff. Now,
it has been.
If I could just ask you a quick question, just to kick it off, I'm going to get right into it, brother. MLW.
Yeah.
Blood and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately lost the tag titles.
Correct.
Yourself and Calvin Tankman, Hustle and Power against the Samoan SWAT team. How do you feel after that loss, and how do you bounce back from a tough loss like that?
Man, every time I get into something, you know, my mindset is to be the best, to dominate, and to show up and show out. It was an incredible match. It was probably one of my favorite matches. You know, we went in, we went after it, and unfortunately, you know, we didn't come out with the W, but I don't consider it a loss. I consider it a lesson learned. You know, there's so much things that go into these types of things, and it was an incredible match. And hats off to SST, the Samoan SWAT team. Got a lot of respect for them. You know, they are one of the more dominant tag teams in MLW. So, you know, if it was anybody, I'm glad it was them.
Definitely. Yeah. The team with yourself and Calvin Tankman, y'all was going crazy, of course. Listen, like what? Almost like 10 months
almost a year. I think we were shy a couple of days, almost a year.
Up on, right? So that would have been an amazing milestone and an accolade, you know, a nice feather in the cap to add to the run at MLW. So I noticed that leading up to that match, there seemed to be like a little bit of like are they necessarily on the same page right now, yourself and Calvin? Where do you guys stand right now? And is there any plans of you guys tagging, maybe trying to get those titles back, or what's your relationship with Calvin Tankman at this moment?
Me and Tank, you know, we family, we brothers. You know, brothers fight. You know, things happen. Right now, you know, it kind of seems like we're going in two different directions. What's going to happen? I don't know. Are we going to go back after the titles? Hey, look, never say never. You know, if there's an opportunity that presents itself, you know, the judge ain't afraid of no fight. The judge ain't afraid of hard work. So Who knows?
Good stuff. Now, is there any, do you have any interest of like performing in like AAA for an extended amount of time?
Oh yeah, I love Mexico. I've wrestled out in Mexico a few times now. Mexico shows a lot of love. I love the energy. I love learning new styles, being in new styles. You know, Mexico. I love them damn tacos too. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? So,
live, right?
With that alone will send me back to Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. A little Casamigos, something like that.
I am a Casamigos guy. It's when it's time to celebrate.
I had a conversation just a few weeks ago. Well, I didn't have a conversation. My brothers had a conversation with this gentleman, the suplex assassin, Alex Kane, a few weeks ago. This was before Blood and Thunder.
Okay.
Now, Alex Kane, he claimed that he's a guy in MLW, and he is the guy that is going to defeat Alex Hammerstone for the world title, right?
Yeah.
And he said a few choice words, and I want to know your thoughts on these words that he said. He said that he's the guy, right, and he does not have to walk around this bitch saying I'm him or that I'm Hemi Neutron.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was a little bit of a shot.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Yo, not everybody got the sauce. You know what I'm saying? I was born with the juice. Some people got it, some people don't. Others got to convince you. Others just are born with it. And I'm that guy. whether I say it or not. When I walk in the room, you know what's up. Alex Kane, next time you want to run your mouth, you got my line, you know my number. We share the same locker room. Let me know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no reason to run to no damn podcast trying to, throw shade. Hey, look, I was born in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? If you want to bring the shade, I'm here. You heard me. You know where I'm at. Put my Twitter, my Instagram, whatever on the screen right now. At me next time.
Yo, 100% happening.
Yo, got to.
Go ahead, brother.
Yo, take it away from wrestling for a second. Now, you have a history of football. You played in high school, you played in college, you played in CFL, you played arenas. What about football do you think prepared you to be a professional wrestler?
Shoot, everything. I went to the NFL Combine in 2012, and that alone was one of the biggest moments in my life. It was a huge blessing, but to get there, it took a lot of preparation, a lot of practice, just basically setting myself up for success. I was able to do things that nobody asked me to do. I was working out 2-3 times a day, recovery, learning the game, studying film, being around others. I got the opportunity to train with Hall of Famers and guys that are still in the NFL right now. So it put me in the mindset. It gave me structure. It gave me the highs and lows. Football is like, anybody that's from Texas, anybody that's played the sport knows that there's a lot of valleys and there's highs. Fortunately, my senior year, I was able to go to the national championship D1 AA with Sam Houston. Hardly home, but always repping. And, that journey within itself was unbelievable. My sophomore year, we were garbage. I'm talking about ass can't punch. You know what I'm saying? And then through the years, we just got better. We got focused. We knew what we wanted, and we went after it. And nothing was given to us. Everything was earned, And that's something I brought to wrestling, because let's be honest, there's a lot of nepotism. There's a lot of who's who. There's a lot of, I know this person, but I always move different. You know what I'm saying? I let my hard work go before me, and people immediately started to recognize it. I shared the story about how I was chopping it up with Triple H, and he compared my work ethic to The Rock. And that little thing right there, I didn't really share that with anybody because I used that as fuel. But when I mentioned it, it kind of went viral. Everybody was like, oh, shoot, he said that. That's crazy. But it was like, a lot of people have said that to me. A lot of people have said, I haven't met anybody that works as hard as you. Like, you're a different kind of animal. But this is from years and years and years of preparation, because you went through it yourself. For me to be a professional in 3 different sports, I mean, I don't know anybody else that has done that. And I don't think it's not even easy. Only 0.3% of people, 0.3% of high school athletes go to college. And then another less than 0.1 go pro. And so I was able to do it in 3 different sports. And so that alone is a blessing from God, because overall, he's the one that gave me the ability. And I just ran with it.
100%, man. Like 100%. Like you just said, you played 3 sports in high school. You played basketball, you ran track, football. Mm-hmm. What made you decide to go to football instead of like doing basketball or track in college?
I did do basketball and football in college. When I first got there, I played both sports, and then I quickly realized at the time I was 6'6", 220 pounds. I said, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to play the 4 in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is like, 6'9", shooting threes. Like, this was the era where, these big guys shooting threes. In high school, my job was to get to the basket, rebound, you know what I'm saying? And I get to college, they asked me to drop dimes. I said, hold on, player. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some time. I got to develop that game, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't no 30, 40% 3-point shooter, you know what I'm saying? If it went in, it was by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? But I get to that basket. You hear me? But I wisened up. I realized it's funny because I came into college as a receiver, playing wide receiver. And I think it was like 2-3 weeks into summer camp, defensive coordinator comes up to me and says, "Son, you'll see the field faster on the dark side of the ball." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he's like, "Come to defense, come to," because we wore black jerseys. We call ourselves the Black Swarm. Mm-hmm. So, at first I was kind of reluctant. So they had moved me to tight end for like 2 days. And I said, "Hell no, this is a glorified tackle. I ain't playing no damn." They never threw to the tight end. So I said, "What the hell am I out here doing? I'm going to be blocking. I might as well be tackling." So went and chopped it up. They put me on special teams as a linebacker. And then on scout, I was playing everything. I was playing safety. I was playing linebacker, DN. And then I naturally, became a hammer, which is basically a DN / linebacker in different packages. And honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened because started having fun on that field. I was out there. I called myself the soul collector. You know what I'm saying? I was blasting folks.
Oh, that's cold.
I was blasting folks.
Bodies.
Yep. And I didn't have to think of like catching the ball. I didn't have to think of like, oh damn, if I drop this possession, this and that, it'll be a 3 and out. All I had to think about was my responsibility, and which was incredibly hard. Don't get me wrong, because as a hammer, you got to learn the defense as a linebacker and a defensive end. So, there's times you're out there like, damn, was it, you know what I'm saying? But once it started clicking, I was out there soul collecting.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's a crazy nickname. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yo. I was like, yo, that's cold, bro.
I like that. I like
soul
that.
collecting, damn.
Right. And you talk about the of course, not very many people, of course, are able to go pro in 3 different fields, right? Yeah. Do you have any aspirations or down the line? Are you going to be doing any more like weightlifting competitions, bodybuilding? Because I know you're also IBBF. I can never remember the actual, but yeah. So you're actually certified and everything and all of that. So. Like, are you going to be doing any more competitions because the physique is crazy, you feel me, pause and all that, but like you work out hard, brother. So salute to you feel me?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, never say never. You know what I'm saying? If Olympia gives me a call or Arnold, who knows if that money right? You know what I'm saying? The judge might show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in this lifestyle, you never really kind of get out. You know what I'm saying? It's become part of me. It's just what I do. I eat right. I work out. Even now, once or twice a day, I go hit the ring. I count that as a 3rd workout. I still train at Devon's gym. So the one thing I always say is I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. And I'm Mr. 4 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? You give me 4 weeks, I can do a show.
I like that. Big action, Mr. 4 weeks out. He said, "Hey, just tell me when to pull up and where to come out. I'm with it."
I'll pull up. When you know it. Shoot, I accidentally almost got show ready, just getting ready for Blood and Thunder. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, "God dang, you got ripped up. What you trying to do?" My wife was like, "EJ, I see you." I said, "I wasn't trying to get this shredded, So I started doing a little bit of intermittent fasting, and my body always responds well when I put premium fuel in it.
So working out, eating right. So I guess you don't necessarily you don't follow the ideology of Ochocinco, where it's like Ocho versus science. Eat whatever you want, as long as you work out right, your body is gonna respond. Like science ain't real.
I don't follow anybody but God, number one.
I like that. I like that.
Number two, what the hell is he even talking about? How you think about it like this? If you have a Lamborghini, right? You pull up in a Lamborghini, are you gonna put regular gas in it and expect it to perform at a high level? No. You're gonna put that high octane, you know what I'm saying? So it may be, look, it worked for him. There's no way in God's green earth this man was eating McDonald's for every meal. I refuse to believe that. Maybe once in a while, like once or twice a week when you're at a high level like that, you can get away with it. But if you're eating it every day, you cannot outwork a trash can punch diet like that. What's funny is I went almost 8 years without eating McDonald's. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the way it felt. I hated the way I felt the day after. So I was I was like, yo, let me challenge myself, because it went from let me not eat it for a month to after a month, I was like, damn, I hate McDonald's. But hey, McDonald's, if you're trying to sponsor me, I love y'all. But it went from a month without eating McDonald's to like a year, and then 2 years. And then actually it was recently where like it was absolutely nothing to eat. And I had to hit a early morning workout, and I'm talking about nothing to eat. So I got like an egg McMuffin because I had to catch a flight for a match, and I ate it, and I was like, I broke the fast. You know what I'm saying? But it was straight. But it's not something that I eat all the time.
Got it.
Matter of fact, I really don't eat fast food like that. If I eat fast food, it's really Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out. Or Whataburger. Whataburger is probably number one.
Turn it up.
So in closing, you don't believe he turned his body into a callus? Is what you're saying?
No, hell no. I mean, I'm saying he probably did what he said he did, but not to the extreme, like every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get away because, if you're looking at it from a nutritional standpoint, say he ate like fries, a soda, and a burger before a game. That can actually be conducive and beneficial for you because you got carbs, you got the fats, and then you got the sugars from the soda. So it's gonna give you a boost, insulin boost, and you're gonna feel a lot more energy. But afterwards, it's gonna be like, when you put that regular gas in a premium car, it's gonna be sludgy afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Breakdown, right?
Mm-hmm. But in the moment, you're gonna feel it's gonna give you satisfaction. I mean, that's why they're the number one fast food in the world ain't by accident, but the longevity of it. I know y'all seen that movie Super Size Me.
Yes.
I mean, ate McDonald's, what was it, for 2 months or a month?
For a whole month, yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And he had all kinds of issues at the end. But in the beginning, he was loving it. It was feeling good. He was loving it. And I think it's kind of the same thing. If he was eating it like, right before a game, technically he probably could, depending on how much he probably could have burned it off. But like eating it morning, lunch, and dinner, I'm not with it.
Not the way.
No.
You gotta, as Marshawn Lynch said, take care of your body, take care of your mentals, take care of your chicken. All of that is important, right? Balance, right? So let me ask you this. How do you balance like work and family life, being a father, a husband, and then of course with your profession, like how do you balance that?
I'm a husband and father first and foremost. And so respectively, everything else comes secondly. It's not the same for everybody, but I've been able to balance it because, whatever you prioritize, you make time for it, So I prioritize my wife, my son on the way, and my family. And, I work out twice a day. I train, I have matches. But at the end of the day, when I wake up, I kiss my wife goodbye. When she goes to work, sometimes I watch my son during the day. So, I spend time with them. But then the evenings are for me, after like 6 to 7. That's when I go train. Besides my early morning workout before everybody wakes up. From 6 to 8, I'm in the gym. And then I go train in the ring for about 2-3 hours. And then I try to get home before everybody goes to sleep so I can say my goodnight. So that's kind of how I balance everything. But, we chose this life. This life ain't easy, And so that's just kind of where I stand.
I like that. Yeah. It's important.
Appreciate it.
All right, bro. So when you in the gym for those 3 or 4 hours when you're training, what are you playing, man? What are you listening to? What's your playlist looking like?
It just depends on the season I'm in. Like right now, my playlist is gospel music and Afro beats. Those are my 2 things. But normally, I listen anything. I love Migos. I love Migos. R.I.P. Takeoff. Damn, it just hurts me just saying that. But I'm a big Migos fan. I love Drake. I just like that up-tempo beats. I love anything from the South. I'm from Dallas, Texas, but raised in Houston, H-Town. It's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of me. But I have a wide range of music that I love. I lived in Jersey for a little bit, so I like the Jersey music, the Jersey bop. I like the Philly bop. You know what I'm saying? Drill music is getting hot right now. I just started listening to Christian drill music, and it's kind of hot though. You know what I'm saying? There's some hot beats. I like Pop Smoke. Spot hit another one, man. Gone too soon. I like Pop Smoke. Back in college, we used to listen to a lot of Waka Flocka.
Yo,
that's a lot of energy.
Yeah, he used to get it right before the game.
Yes,
get right with Waka. But my playlist is constantly evolving. I got two different playlists. I got one called Motivation, and then I got one called Mindset. And it just kind of depends on where I'm trying to go. Like if I need motivation for like the Stairmaster or like something that I really, really don't want to do, I'll put the motivation. But normally I stay in the mindset of this is what you have to do, because motivation is temporary. But when you're in a lifestyle, it's a mindset. It's flow. It flows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Love that. Yeah, 100%. And I feel you on playing the gospel music when you're hitting the gym. I was raised in church my entire life. My dad was a pastor, and that was basically what I was raised on. So sometimes when I'm, in there, I'm lifting weights, I put that on to get me through it. So I feel you. Right.
Yeah. Because, hey, man, music is the gateway to our soul. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very cautious of what I put in my soul, what I watch, what I eat, what I see, so I try to keep everything positive so that I can also put out positive energy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys call it, vibes, energy, spirits, whatever, there's the good and then there's evil. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to be cognitive of what I'm putting out, because you're either draining energy or you're providing energy. And I like to provide, you know what I'm saying? Because don't nobody like somebody who's always complaining or whining or just hating life, because like I said, man, we're alive, we blessed, and we're breathing, and not many people can say that.
That's a fact,
bro. 100%. Now I'll ask you this question before we get off the subject of music. What is your wildest hip-hop take? Like somebody looks to, like, you say this and then everybody in the room looking at you like, bro, what is this dude talking about?
Man, I don't like New Future, yo. I do not like New Future. Yo, he's like, I was just talking about positive energy and this and that, but I feel like he prides himself in being toxic masculinity and like boasting and like being a womanizer and just doing everything you're not supposed to do. Like, I'm like, look, bro, old Future used to just be motivation, hype, like talking about where he come from, Atlanta. Early stuff we collaborated with Drake. I feel like I also don't like Young Thug. No, matter of fact, it's Young Thug. Because are y'all been listening to the tapes?
I've been checking it out. I watched the judge do the raps and all of that.
You know what I'm saying? Think about this, bro.
Cringy.
Yo, this is, and I talk about this with my homeboys, my wrestling friends, and everything. Like, everybody talking about free slime, but like, if you actually listen to the court documents and the tapes, this man was like responsible for several murders and hits. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn how much songs he put out, bro. If you out here killing folks, you know what I'm saying? Stay your ass in jail. I don't care if you killed half a person. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing is everybody talking about, people snitching, this and that. But shut the hell up. First of all, half of y'all will flip for a pack of gum. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you talking about, I ain't gonna snitch, I ain't gonna take a plea deal. Shut your ass up. You won't even. You shut your ass all the way up. Half of y'all won't even, you flip as soon as you get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I don't want to hear nothing. I won't hear nothing.
What they say,
especially if you didn't do it. If you didn't do something, I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail for 2 minutes if I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, y'all got to figure that one out.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't no snitch, but at the same time, I won't be in the same room with all that going on, because I have the level of discernment to know, like, this ain't for me. You know what I mean?
You don't want to put yourself in that position.
You know y'all I know there's some folk, because I know how y'all operate. I know there's some folk that go rip me apart for this, but look, I'm telling you right now, y'all need to go look at the facts and listen to the case, because my wife is an attorney, so my eyes has opened up to a lot of stuff that people are just just completely oblivious to, like, even the judge. You can tell this man is trying to save these guys' lives. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, you don't belong to the streets. You trying to keep up these street ethics and these codes and everything. But like, if you ain't got nothing to do with this, you need to speak up now and tell the truth. Otherwise, your ass is going to jail for 50 years. This is a federal case. They're 90% conviction rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna get your ass, period.
Yeah.
So, you know, and Rico's ain't an easy case to beat. There's a lot of elements of arrest that go into Rico cases.
Yeah.
So
they pretty much already got you when they come at you with a
period,
Rico.
bro.
We have everything that we need in the first place. Like,
exactly. They're not gonna hit you with a Rico unless they have all the elements of arrest. That's why Ricos are so high profile cases. What was the last Rico? The Mafia? You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no joke cases.
Not a joke. Yeah. It's serious, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a serious question, EJ.
What's up?
When was the last time you were afraid?
The only thing I'm afraid of is God. I fear God. But you talking about like man or a situation?
Yeah.
I fear no man.
Was there any situation that had you fearful or had you in doubt or had you maybe second guess, you know what I mean, your place in the moment or whatever that may be?
I would say when I got fired during the pandemic, when my son was like 3 weeks old, I was afraid it was a sense of urgency. I don't know if I was afraid. It was just a sense of the unknown. You know what I mean? Like, I was more hard on myself because, you know, I'm a father. You know what I mean? I just became a father and I got fired from what I thought was going to be, you know, my dream job. And I have someone who's dependent on me to live. You know what I mean? And in that moment, I was literally like, damn, like I need to figure out something. And we're in the middle of a pandemic, like the height of the pandemic. So we really didn't even know what the hell COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it, what the amplification of it was. And I'm bringing a kid into the world and I just lost the job. So it was just a moment of uncertainty, but it was also fuel to my fire. Like it became the chip on my shoulder. It became, you know, it really birthed the judge. You know what I'm saying? Like before I was Ezra Judge. And then in that period of the season of my life, I became the judge because I made the choice. I said, look, ain't none of y'all doing what I'm doing. I have not met any of y'all working as hard as me. Y'all not watching as much wrestling as me. Y'all not, you know, y'all don't want this as bad as I do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if I can harness that, put my creative ideas together, put my influences and just compact it in one, that's when the judge was born. You know, in the beginning, it was a lot of it me figuring myself out. And then I was running into people and they were like, yo, the judge is hot, bro. Like, I like it. Keep going. And I just kept adding different elements, different storylines, helped me find different aspects of the judge. MLW gave me a platform because at first I got there, they had written a lot. Like my first 2 episodes, they had wrote, you know, what they wanted me to say and all the time, like they do everywhere else. But I found that I would read it and then I talked to the writers and the producers and I was like, yo, what's the 3 major points you want me to get across? Like, what are the major things? And I said, let me do a couple promos how I envision the judge. You know what I'm saying? And we had a crazy team. You know, it was me, Emilio Sparks, you know, there's Federico, we had Biff, Greeny, and we just got together, you know, and made magic. You know, I just started, and even my last year, the run in MLW, you know, they didn't write nothing for me. They would tell me what the points are. It's like, do what you do because that's what the people like. That's what's getting the views. So you just keep doing you. And I just kept going. You know, I would be in my car going to the gym practicing promos. I'll just make up situations and I just cut a promo in the car. You know, there's a few times I got to the light. I'm over here cutting a promo and I look to the left and people looking at me like, this man must be on that shroom or something. Like,
like I'm working here.
You know, so that's that on that.
Yeah, bro. Because I've listened to some of your promos, and you are very well spoken. You got a handle on it. And the other thing is, you were talking about you were talking about wrestling and everything like that. The style that you have is something that not a lot of guys are doing. Like, you see a lot of big men today. They don't want to be a big man. They don't want to do the big man style. They want to flip out of the ring. They want to go over here do a moonsault. But you stick to that style, and I really enjoy what you're doing there. Now, my question is, 100%. My question to you is, what 3 dream matches do you have in your head for yourself? Like
3 dream matches.
Different,
Number 1, and this is recently, I would definitely like to go with Roman Reigns. No question. I mean, I think he's one of the best storytellers in the game. I just like the energy he brings. You know, he's the dominant wrestler right now in our industry. And he's just incredible. I like to share the ring with him. Number 2 is easily Ricochet. I think he's the best in-ring performer of our time. I think he's a genius. You know, I picked his brain a lot in the early days of, you know, me cultivating who the judge was. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that he taught me and told me, it kind of resonated too, you know. And I hear from a lot of people what you said, like, I like your style of wrestling. I like the energy you bring. I like your facials. I like how your moves are. And it's because, you know, I know I'm not going to be no damn Ricochet. I ain't finna do no 850 off the top rope. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Rey Mysterio. I can't do no hurricanranas off the 3rd rope. You know what I mean? But I am 6'8", 285 pounds, and I'm stronger than, you know, most of everybody in the business. You know, I ran a 4.5, you know, 4.47 to be clear at the NFL.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm fast, I'm explosive, and that's what God blessed me with. So it really came naturally, my style. Like, I can go from 0 to 100 in the ring, and people are like, damn, bro, I didn't know you can do that. But, you know, I don't want to, you know, really boast on myself, because it's God-given abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't decide, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be 6'8". You know, today is the day. Right. You know, I didn't decide that. You know, so it's just it's just, you know, life, and life ain't fair for everybody. So I took what I was good at and what I was blessed with and made my style. And it came with, you know, watching a lot of tape. Don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up watching The Rock. You know, I grew up watching Randy, Cena, Stone Cold, Taker, Kane, all of them. And most recently, I really started watching Brock, you know, early Brock, you know, and the way he moved. Yo, don't get it twisted. Brock is athletic as hell. Some people forget. Brock and Randy, you know what I'm saying? OVW, Brock and Randy, when Cena, Henry, when they're all there, I watched a lot of that old tape, and them boys can go. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're all big boys. So, you know, a lot of that stuff I watched and kind of took ingredients, took recipes from everybody else. What influenced me, even movies, you know. I watched that, you know, that show called C with Jason Momoa and Batista on the Apple TV.
Yeah, it's like everybody's like blind.
Bruh, you know? That shit is a wrestling clinic.
Yeah.
You understand me? Like, it's all blind people fighting. So it's all technical, close combat, a lot of like power moves. And I watched that, and a lot of that stuff, I ain't gonna give my secrets away. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched it. You know what I mean? So I take influence from everything. I take influence from fashion, you know what I mean? Fashion designers, musicians, you know. There's a lot of people that that influenced me when I was young, you know, Martin, you know what I'm saying? People, Will Smith, you know, the Martin sitcom, the way how Martin had different layers, you know what I mean? Like, he had different dimension. It wasn't just Martin, yo, he could be Dragonfly Jones, you know what I mean? He's like, you know, he could be Jerome, he could be all different things, you know, but it's still Martin, you know? And Shanae, it's just different elements, but it was still Martin, and he gave you layers because you never knew what to expect.
I like the Jerome impression there.
You know,
he hit the Shanae pretty good too.
Spot on, bro.
Good stuff. Okay, so I do have a question for you. I did see that there was a report.
What's up?
There was a report that you might possibly be a free agent, and there were some companies that were interested in bringing you in, and there was a particular company that was interested in bringing you back.
Mm-hmm.
You feeding into any of that?
Yo, honestly, I'm not even on social media like that right now. Like, y'all had sent me a DM earlier today, and I don't get on social media till the evening because, you know, I try to block all that stuff out. But I would just say that I think God has blessed me to be in a position where I planted my seeds, and now I'm seeing the results of my harvest, you know. So I will say, you know, as of January, actually December 31st at 12 a.m., I was single like a dollar bill, meaning I was a free agent. So yeah, I had the match last weekend, MLW Blood and Thunder. You know, I respectfully honored you know, my contractual obligations, and I love MLW. They've been good to me. But yeah, I am a free agent.
Salute, man.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
listen, whatever it is, we with you, we rocking behind you. I don't know
Appreciate it.
where you're gonna end up, if it's gonna be back in MLW, if you're gonna make some power moves and decide to, you know, switch lanes and pop up somewhere else on somebody's television. As long as you're making money, as long as you're protecting your chicken, protecting your body, protecting your mental,
You know,
that's what's important.
right. And that's the end goal, you know. I'm trying to, you know, when I got into this business, I told myself that I want to, you know, create something big. I want to create something for my legacy, my family, and something that, you know, they can look back and be proud of. So I never stopped, and that's the goal.
Love it, love it. Ben, it's on you. That's pretty much all I got right now.
All right, bro. Yeah, we just talked about MLW. You talked about the respect and everything that you had for everything they've done for you. What do you think that MLW is doing better than any other wrestling company out there right now?
I can't say what they're doing better because I'm not in every other wrestling company and I don't know what their strengths are, but I can say MLW's strength is the camaraderie in the locker room. Very seldomly, I haven't really experienced it. There's no strife. Everybody's hungry, yo. Everybody's trying to get it, respectively. You know, everybody understands that we got to come together collectively to make this happen. There's a lot of creativity. You know, you can openly discuss what you think for creative. You can bounce ideas. So it's not like, you know, you say something and then it gets immediately shot down. It's kind of like, okay, how can we make it better? Or how about we go this way? Or let's try it this way. But it's a collective, you know what I mean? And so that's what I really liked about it, because that's really how I was able to really, really define who the judge is, because I was able to pitch ideas and they weren't getting shot down immediately. They would hear it out and be like, okay, let's try it. Let's see how it goes, you know, and we went from there. And it's a great platform, you know, period. You know, they are on YouTube. When I first came in, we were on Vice TV. Being sports, like, you know, they're doing it. They're growing. And you know, they're competing against, you know, these billion-dollar guys, you know, and they're doing the best they can. The way that I see it is, you know, these billion-dollar companies are like the powerhouses. They're like the Alabamas. They're like the Georgias. You know what I mean? And MLW is kind of like the smaller D1. It's or even the D2, but they're good. You know, they're getting the product out there. Excellent production team. You get TV time. You learn how to wrestle on TV. So it's it was definitely an awesome learning curve going there, because, you know, I learned how to work TV. I learned how to put together matches. I worked in Mexico. I worked all over the United States. We had Azteca Underground, so there's a lot of lucha, regular style, and, you know, it was just fire.
I feel like it has like an old school Ring of Honor vibe to it. Like you have your vets and you have your young guys coming in, and the vets aren't overshadowing those young guys like you see in a lot of different places where they're like, you know, pushing them down and everything like that. Like everybody is getting their moment to shine, and y'all do, like, it shines through that y'all letting that they're letting the guys present their own ideas. Like we talked to Myron a while ago, and he was telling us about the chest plate and everything that he had on there, and he said that it was a collaborative decision. They just told me, hey, just go ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and run with it. I really like that, because you got a lot of people who are like too much in their head when it comes to making decision, and instead of just letting it flow organically, they're like, well, I got a guy over there write this up, and you could do that. And there's no room for like any like wiggle room to try to get out of it. I really enjoy what y'all doing over there. But I got a couple more questions, and I'm gonna let you go.
No, you good.
Okay, all right, bet. Now, a while ago, when we were asking about different wrestlers that you wanted to wrestle, you were talking about how you look for different things, like even in movies and film, to kind of like put on your character of the judge. So what are you watching lately? Like, what's like, if you were going through like the streaming apps, what do you be watching?
Oh man. Right now, I'm watching a lot of action movies, a lot of Marvel movies. As far as TV shows, I like I said, I like that show C. I like I can't think of it right now. The show where they have the 4 symbols every time it comes up, and they're like in the middle of somewhere like in Chicago. I can't even think of the name. That Marty, he's the lead actor. And then, it's about basically the cartel, and he's working for the cartel, but he was an accountant. I can't think of it right now. Ozark.
Yeah, that's it.
Ozark. I'm also a huge Game of Thrones guy, so I've been watching House of Dragons. And that's pretty much it. I like stuff with a good story, good characters, and good production. Like, now that I'm in, the entertainment business, like we see things a little bit differently than other people. So I love a good story, and something that you can follow along with. As far as like reality shows, my wife and I, we love 90 Day Fiance because it's hilarious.
Yo,
that show is hilarious.
Yo, I seen the dude on there with no neck, and I'm like, bro, how you getting married to her? Like, what you got going on, bro?
No neck head.
I'm like, bro, how you doing that? And you superficial as hell and got a bunch of standards and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, you should be thankful whoever come your way. But right. I'm like, bro, it's a hilarious show, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. To take it back to your bodybuilding career, like when you started doing like bodybuilding, who were some of your inspirations like in that field that you looked to and you were like, yo, I'm looking up to this guy, and I'll kind of want to, model myself, not like, steal their style, but kind of, look to them for inspiration?
That's a great question. When I got into bodybuilding, which was like 2014, 2015, it was like in that late 80s, early 90s, bodybuilding was kind of mainstream. This is like when it was on ESPN, and there was a lot of OGs. Of course, you had the Arnolds, you had the Lou Ferrignos, you had the Ronnie Colemans, Ronnie Coleman's from Dallas. But when I got into it, it was a lot of like younger guys that were starting to get hot based off their physique and social media. So I was kind of ahead of the curve because I was always in shape. I just finished playing football. And so it's in my, and I turned pro rather quickly. So I really didn't get an opportunity to like, this is who I'm going to model after. But the people who did give me like inspiration was definitely like the Phil Heaths. I got an opportunity to meet him when he came to Dallas, and at the time I think he was like his 6th time winning Mr. Olympia. But he took the time to chop it up with me, and he actually was like, "Look, you got an incredible physique. I think you can really do well in this business." And I did. For the 3-4 years that I was actively professionally bodybuilding, I did fairly well for someone who was came in from another sport, because a lot of these guys have been training 10, 15, 20 years just to even get an opportunity to go to nationals. I trained maybe 7 months, 8 months, and I was right then and there neck to neck with it, and I was winning. You know what I mean? Like I was blowing some of these cats out the water that had been working out for years. But, like I said, it was a lifestyle for me. Like growing up, we didn't drink soda, chips, and all this candy and all that stuff. We were eating fruits, vegetables, eating spinach, and to me that was tasty. I liked it, my mom loves cantaloupe. That's the only fruit that I really don't like, and that's something that, like, I remember Halloween one year. With you. Bro, I remember Halloween one year. It was like I was like in 2nd or 3rd grade, and my mom was like, "Before y'all can go trick or treating, you got to finish this cantaloupe." And it was this big cantaloupe. I'll never forget this. And I remember sitting there and having to eat it, because she knew if we ate the cantaloupe, we wouldn't have the desire or like the taste buds for all that damn candy, So,
that's wild, bro. Like every mother has their own tricks. My mom was the same way, but she was like that. Like we want like sugar cereal and stuff like that. She'd be like, "Yeah, he'd go with these Honey Nut Cheerios or Kicks," and I'd be like, "Man, I really don't want this." She'd be like, "Yeah, man, you just have a bowl of this," and then by the time you had that, it was like, "Yo, so you want Frosted Flakes?" I'm like, "Man, I really don't want nothing right now."
I'm full now. I'm full now. What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, I mean, like your parents are from Nigeria,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that had like an impact on like things like what you said, like eating like candy and drinking soda and stuff like that. So like, yeah, man, respect to that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got a couple more questions. What do you feel like? How do you feel like the state of wrestling is right now? Do you think like wrestling is back up on the come up to where it was? Not like in the 90s where it was like being a rock star was like being a wrestler, but like, do you think like we're going to hit that like that big boom where it's like at least back to a little bit where it is, or you think we're at that level right now?
I think more superstars are being are coming up every day, and I think the more opportunity for more superstars is more exposure. I feel like if we continue in this trend and more homegrown stars are happening and more people are getting opportunities, more TV time, more streaming platforms, I think it could be better than what it was before. Even now, I was just telling some of my family members, when I was playing football, people really didn't know who I was because we got a helmet on, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really, and especially in the airport, they could see me and like, oh, he must do something. But now, like when I'm traveling to shows or even going on vacation, there's people at the airport comes running, the judge, and it's kind of dope because I like to remain humble. I like to remain where I came from, but I'm also confident in my abilities. But it's always humbling and warming, like when I'm with my son walking through the airport or my wife and someone's like, yo, the judge, and I take a picture with them and their kids or whatever. It's kind of dope because sometimes when you're in it, you don't see out of it. When you're in the box, you don't really see everything that's going on because hey, nobody's gonna come give you your flowers while you're here. Very seldomly do you do, and that's why I try to do my best. There's a lot of people right now that are just shining. There's stars that are up and coming. Like, for example, one of the biggest ones that I respect is Melo out in NXT. I was there when he first came to NXT. I was the first person he wrestled. We were class together, and I remember telling him, I was like, bro, you got it, dog. Like, you got what it takes. You got the look. You can talk. And I was like, you're gonna be a star. I remember telling him, we were at Wawa. I said, this time next year, bro, I would be shocked if you're not main stage, like you're not a staple in the WWE. And look where we are now. We got Jade is another one at AEW. I had one of my first tryouts with her, and I remember looking at her and say, yo, you're gonna be a star. Although we've known each other for years, we freshman year we went to college together, but we didn't. Wow. We knew of each other, but we didn't know each other like that. But like coming back into this world, there's certain people that just got it. I know I'm forgetting a couple people, like Odyssey Jones is another one. He's a star. Scripps is another one. Omos has come up. There's just a number of people that are just coming up. Even in AEW, you got a number of people that are just rising because the opportunity is now here. There's different places where you can shine. So I think it could. we can make this whatever we want it to be. You know, I can sit here and talk all day and all, but as for me, my goal is to be the biggest star as I possibly can and lead by example.
Yeah, like I feel you on all that, because like you said, it could end up being better than it was before, because you have a lot of guys now who are paying it forward, who are not scared to like show like a younger guy, like, hey, come here, man, don't hit the ropes that way, hit the ropes this way, like don't do this, you know, do that. Because a lot of guys back then, if you wanted to know the secrets, you had to damn near like pry it out of them, like, because a lot of guys were protecting their spot because they didn't want the young guy to learn all the secrets and everything like that, and then he surpasses you. But I see what you're saying, like it's
still kind of like that, but like I said, there's a group of, you can tell who are the ones that, you know, because when you got the sauce, you ain't trying, you don't need to hide it. If you got the juice, you confident in your own abilities. You don't need to suppress the next man. You don't need to hide secrets. You know what I'm saying? Because I always say this: creatives create, and that's what I do. I can create, you know. And so, what do I look like? I know something that could be beneficial for somebody else, but I don't want to tell them because, you know, I don't want them to do better. Man, that says a lot about me and my character. Like, if I know something that could be beneficial to somebody, why not? Because later down the line, I don't know everything. I don't, you know, it could be an opportunity where God blesses me, where, you know, shoot, Cena calls me on the phone after a match and is like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, Devon will call me and be like, da, da, da. You know, the number one thing that I feel like we can all be better at is being generous, especially in this industry, because we cannot wrestle ourselves. I want that to be clear as day. People are so worried about themselves and getting their stuff in and doing this and this and that. Yo, you can't wrestle yourself, okay? You need to be in there with somebody else. And you guys gotta make magic happen. You know, you gotta play to each other's strength and not just one person's strength. And when that, I've been blessed to have that opportunity to work with people that understand that, you know. I ain't gonna lie, coming up, when I was at the PC, it was kind of like the gatekeeper mentality. There was a few people that don't want to tell you anything, or they'll go back and they'll make fun of you for doing this, doing that. But at the end of the day, I'm still a draw. You still watching, you still talking, and the money still hitting. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go. There you go, man. And I got one more question before we go ahead and get out of here. I really enjoyed what you just said. But last question I have for you is, you say you from Dallas and everything. Now, not everyone from Dallas is necessarily a Cowboys fan, but sir, are you a Cowboys fan?
Absolutely not.
My man.
Not even for 1 second. And I'll tell you why. Now I can freely say it now. You know what I'm saying? When I went through the combine, I was in the NFL combine. One of the teams that would constantly check on me, constantly hit me up, was the Cowboy. Because obviously I'm homegrown. You know, they promised everything under the sun. We're going to bring you in. We're going to draft you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And for 2 years, they toiled with me. 2 freaking years telling me, oh, we're going to bring you this and that. The Texans showed me more love, and I wasn't even in Houston. You know what I mean? I played at Sam Houston, and I had 2 workouts with the Texans, but Dallas never brought me in. And I kind of, that left a chip on my shoulder. Do I hate them? No. But do I think that there's somebody there that got his hands in too many things? Yes. I think Dallas, 100%. You know what I'm saying? I think Dallas can do a better job of real power is when you're able to delegate different responsibilities and understand where you're not as proficient in. And I think that when you try to wear too many hats, things can get convoluted. And this is football EJ talking, not wrestling. And I think that there's a reason why there's position coaches. There's a reason why there's coordinators. There's a reason why you have a department for scouts, player personnel, etc. But when you try to do everything yourself, there's no possible way that you can do the best job that you absolutely can if you are doing everything yourself. A real leader delegates power. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
100%. Now, you're not a Cowboys fan. Who are you fan of? Like,
I'm a fan of individuals, where my boys are at, where they're shining.
All right.
Right now, if I were to say I'm a fan of anything, I'm a fan of the Buffalo Bills. Shout out my boy Asil. I see you guys out there shining. Please honor what you promised when y'all go to the Super Bowl. I need 2 tickets. All right. So yep.
Yo, there you go. Man, this was great. We really enjoyed having you on. Is there anything you want to plug before you get out of here? Before we get out of here?
Hey, look, y'all come follow me on Twitter. I got a large following on Instagram. I wasn't like a big Twitter guy until I got into the wrestling world. I had like 200 followers. Now I'm like closer to 7,000. But yo, look, come follow your boy. You hear things from me first. Also check out the merch. I got a new shirt dropping. The link is in my bio. I appreciate you all. I'm also building up my YouTube channel. It's going to be about wrestling, lifestyle, working out, fitness. Yo, speaking of the devil, look who's calling me. Jade. But I'm going to call her back.
Tell him we say hi.
I'm going to tell him you say hi. But yeah, y'all be safe now.
All right, man. You take it easy. We'll see you down the line.
Let me take this call.
All right,
oops. Hello?
All right, bro.
What's up, sis? Oh, shoot.
Right,
hey, let me call you back.
All right.
I was on a podcast. No, what's up?
All right, guys. That's it from us. Man's clearly busy. He clearly doing work. We're going to leave him to it. For those of you who listen to it, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for supporting. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, you listen to this early, bless you 100%. If you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you get this interview a little bit later. I want you to go ahead to not Public Enemy. I want you to go to patreon.com/Public Enemies.